The Gulen movement, which once stood at the forefront of promoting Turkey's soft power through a well-structured global network of educational and socio-religious institutions, played a central role in elevating Turkey's image as a modern, progressive and influential nation. By establishing schools, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and business ventures worldwide, the movement fostered relationships and built bridges in regions as far-reaching as Central Asia, Africa, and beyond. The movement's emphasis on education, interfaith dialogue, and meritocracy struck a chord with the local population, reinforcing Turkey's presence and influence across multiple continents. The Gülenists' commitment to fostering positive societal values helped the country project an image of inclusivity and modernity on the international stage. Before the 2016 coup attempt, the Gülen movement's activities significantly contributed to Turkey's smart power, a concept coined by Joseph Nye to describe the strategic blend of hard power, military and economic strength, and soft power, diplomatic, cultural and ideological influence. By promoting educational development and interfaith cooperation, the movement provided Turkey with valuable access and influence, particularly in regions like Africa and Central Asia. The establishment of high-quality educational institutions and humanitarian work under the banner of the Gülenists allowed Turkey to create lasting goodwill in these areas, positioning itself as a nation with strong cultural diplomacy and societal engagement. However, following the failed 2016 coup and the subsequent crackdown on Gülenist-affiliated institutions, Turkey experienced a dramatic decline in its ability to wield smart power. The Turkish government's campaign to dismantle the Gülen movement saw the closure of many schools and NGOs, which had once been vital conduits for projecting Turkish influence abroad. These institutions, which had earned the respect of local communities, were either shut down or transferred to state control, effectively severing Turkey's soft power lifelines in key regions. This loss significantly undermined Turkey's strategic positioning, particularly in Africa and Central Asia, where the Gülenists had been instrumental in maintaining Turkey's foothold. With these institutions gone, Turkey's reach and influence in these regions were greatly diminished, and the government struggled to fill the void left behind. Domestically, the Gülenists had long been perceived as key players within Turkish society. Their presence in critical sectors like education, civil service, and international relations was seen as a vital source of smart power for Turkey. Analysts argue that the movement's focus on honesty, meritocracy, and education had a transformative effect on Turkey's institutions, helping to promote integrity and hard work. The perception of Gülenists as incorruptible and dedicated to public service contributed to social cohesion and reinforced the values of service and integrity in various professional sectors, including the bureaucracy and civil service. In this light, the Gülen movement acted as an internal force of soft power, strengthening Turkey's institutions and promoting ethical standards across society. The aftermath of the coup attempt and the subsequent removal of Gülenists from their positions of influence triggered a significant decline in both social and institutional integrity within Turkey. The Gülenists had been known for their values of hard work, honesty, and ethical behavior, which had a stabilizing effect on Turkish society. Their removal created a vacuum, and with their absence, widespread corruption took root. This erosion of values manifested in various forms, including increased crime rates, fraud, drug trafficking, and dishonesty in both public and private spheres. The ethical standards that the Gülenists once upheld in education, bureaucracy, and other sectors seemed to dissipate, leaving room for less principled actors to dominate. The societal consequences of this crackdown extended beyond governance and ethics. President Erdogan's vision of building a devout religious nation aligned with Islamic values began to falter. Since the staged coup attempt, there has been a notable shift in religious attitudes, with more Turkish citizens, especially among the younger generation, identifying as atheists or deists. Despite Erdogan's efforts to nurture a devout generation, the political and societal turmoil after 2016 led many to disengage from organized religion, reflecting broader societal changes and growing secularism in Turkey. On a geopolitical level, the weakening of the Gulen movement represented a lost opportunity for Turkey to expand its influence in regions of strategic importance. Central Asia and Africa, where the movement had established a strong presence through its schools and cultural programs, are now becoming battlegrounds for influence, with global powers like China and Russia making significant inroads. Turkey's ability to compete in these areas has been greatly reduced due to the dismantling of its soft power assets. The loss of these institutions has not only curtailed Turkey's global outreach, but also left a lasting void in regions where it had once been seen as a key player. Some global powers, including Israel and other interest groups with stakes in shaping narratives around Islam and Turkey's role as a Muslim-majority country, have played a crucial role in the decline of the Gulen movement. These global powers perceived the movement as a direct challenge to their strategic and geopolitical interests, fearing it could shift regional balances of power or undermine their influence in critical areas. The weakening of the movement, which once acted as a stabilizing and ethical force both within Turkey and abroad, has had far-reaching effects. Beyond the immediate loss of influence in key regions, Turkey's ability to shape global narratives through cultural diplomacy has diminished. The weakening of the movement, which once acted as a stabilizing and ethical force both within Turkey and abroad, has had far-reaching effects. Beyond the immediate loss of influence in key regions, Turkey's ability to shape global narratives through cultural diplomacy has diminished. As other powers seek to assert their own influence in these regions, Turkey's withdrawal from the soft power arena has had a tangible impact on its geopolitical standing. In conclusion, the downfall of the Gulen movement has had profound and far-reaching consequences for Turkey, affecting the country's domestic stability and international influence. Once a key instrument of Turkey's soft power, the dismantling of the movement has resulted in a significant loss of strategic influence abroad, particularly in regions like Africa and Central Asia, where the movement's schools and NGOs had established deep-rooted connections with local population. These institutions had served as vital platforms for Turkey to promote its culture, education, and moderate Islamic values, helping the country to project its influence far beyond its borders. By dismantling these assets, Turkey not only lost a critical channel for extending its global reach, but also weakened its ability to compete with global powers like China and Russia, which are now making significant inroads into these same regions. On the domestic front, the movement's purge has contributed to a broader moral and institutional decline. The Gülenists, who were once regarded as ethical role models within key sectors such as education, the civil service, and the judiciary, were seen as a stabilizing force in Turkish society. Their values of honesty, meritocracy, and service to the public helped to uphold high standards in governance and institutional integrity. However, their removal from these positions of influence created a vacuum that has since been filled by less principled actors, leading to increased crime and a decline in ethical governance. The widespread purge has left Turkey's institutions weaker and more susceptible to inefficiencies and misconduct, further eroding public trust in the government and its ability to maintain social cohesion. The movement's absence has also had a profound impact on Turkey's social and religious landscape. Despite President Erdogan's efforts to foster a deeply religious and conservative society, the post-coup environment has seen a noticeable shift, particularly among the younger generation, towards secularism, atheism, and deism. This growing disengagement from religion reflects broader societal shifts that have been exacerbated by the political repression and upheaval following the staged 2016 coup attempt. As Turkish society becomes more fragmented and polarized, Erdogan's vision of a unified, devout nation appears increasingly out of reach, highlighting the long-term social repercussions of the government's actions against the Gülenists. Furthermore, the loss of the movement's global network has undermined Turkey's ability to employ smart power on the international stage, a blend of cultural diplomacy and strategic influence that had once given the country a competitive edge in global geopolitics. The Gulen-affiliated schools and organizations not only enhanced Turkey's smart power, but also served as a bridge for engaging with key regions and emerging markets. With the removal of these assets, Turkey has been forced to recalibrate its foreign policy, but it now faces an uphill battle in maintaining its influence, especially as global powers with more resources and strategic foresight move to fill the vacuum. As Turkey continues to navigate an increasingly complex and competitive global landscape, it now finds itself at a strategic disadvantage. The dismantling of the Gulen movement has left the country without one of its most effective tools for projecting influence and building international relationships. While Erdogan has attempted to maintain Turkey's global relevance through more assertive foreign policies, such as military interventions and diplomatic efforts, these hard power strategies have not fully compensated for the loss of the soft power assets that the Gulen movement once provided. In the long term, Turkey's diminished ability to project soft power could have lasting repercussions, weakening its position in global affairs and limiting its ability to shape regional and international narratives. In essence, the removal of the Gulen movement has left a lasting void in Turkey's domestic and international strategy. Domestically, the loss of a movement that once contributed to institutional integrity and social stability has led to a decline in moral standards and weakened governance. Internationally, the loss of soft power tools has diminished Turkey's ability to influence key regions and compete on the global stage. As Turkey faces the challenges of a shifting geopolitical landscape, the absence of the movement's assets presents a significant obstacle to the country's long-term aspirations, both in maintaining internal stability and asserting its influence abroad. If you find this content useful, please consider subscribing to our channel. Geopolist, the Istanbul Center for Geopolitics, for more insights on international relations and global trends. Don't forget to like and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Thank you for watching and for your subscription.